We are live. Uh-oh. Well, it says we are, but I'm getting an error.
I'm seeing us live.
Cool. All right. How is everybody today?
Good. Fantastic.
We have Bullish as fuck joining us.
BAF.
I just like being a bear is so fucking I realize that if I ever cared about having a Twitter following, which I don't, all I would need to do is post bullish charts all day, and everybody
Exactly.
And I get it.
Exactly.
Look,
Well,
bears are smelly animals. Yeah, they
yes.
sleep too
Yes.
much and they eat their own children. There's nothing
Well,
attractive to bears.
yes. Bulls are a little stinky as well. Having grown up going to work on my uncle's farm in the summer as a kid, I had some experiences with some bulls as well. So, what's interesting, what'll probably happen, what'll probably happen is we'll break 30,000 while we're on this show today. So that'll make things interesting.
And my new name, Bullish as Fuck, will be I'll have just called it. This is for Shizzy. I feel like
I think Shizzy's
the joke, which I won't, of the old bull versus the young bull.
There you go.
Maybe Google it because it'll
all right.
be a bit much.
Shaun says all bulls are great. Chuck says all bulls are great. Medium rare with some chimichurri sauce. There you go. I think Shizzy right now is buying up every bit of Bitcoin he can.
Nothing like you will never hear me criticize that. Yeah, because I'm sick of being a bear. I was going to present all the reasons to be bullish. Okay?
Awesome.
And then I'm going to shit over all of them.
There you go.
I love it. I fucking love it. We'll let you have the floor, sir.
So if I wanted to be popular and a Twitter star, I'd start posting charts like this, okay? And hey, Shizzy, dude, how you doing, mate?
Shizzy says, Shaun Day.
And this is the last 3 cycles that we're in the third one. And again, we've discussed this before, where you develop a bearish structure, you break out, it's up only. If you look at the time from the top to the bottom, it's always the same in the last 2 cycles. And the time from the bottom to the top is approximately the same for the last 2 cycles. So if you take the average time spent from the top to the bottom, you can see we hit it down here at 16K, and you can see that we have taken this trend line. Okay, so there is a valid argument here to say that the market's bull, and I'm gonna go look. That's Shizzy. All I heard was bullish, and I'm about to go. All I heard was bullshit. But so that's quite a convincing narrative, and could be true.
Yeah.
The other kind of in more lower time frames bullish narratives would be that if you look at mega whale order flow in the last week, you can see that we clearly have had some accumulation, okay, and they really haven't offloaded much, okay, so that kind of looks bullish,
right?
If you look at the order book, you can see that we have this wall of buys, about 1.1k Bitcoin that's been chasing the price up, yeah. So, trying to find reasons that are non-emotive to be bullish. And that's as far as I could get, to be honest.
Wait, isn't there some kind of horoscope thing or moon thing we can do for?
I'm sure that
planets aligning.
I'm sure that there's some other thing, but again, Shaun does line on charts, and I stick with that. So this is the case to be bullish, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Isn't there some saint we can pray to? I don't know. I wasn't raised Catholic.
We have a new holiday in Ireland for some saint now. Another day in the pub, St. Bridget or something. I'm not sure who St. Bridget is, but
Yes. She left early, right?
Bridget Bardot.
Thank you
Bridget
for the Guinness.
Yes, there you go. Exactly.
I'm christening her because the holiday was actually down here. I'm going to christen her the saint of bullish Bitcoin. Since we celebrated a holiday, it's been up only.
There you go. I love it.
So, again, the market isn't without bullish narrative out there. And yet I think I posted in the Telegram earlier today. I think I posted in the Telegram group earlier today that there isn't a level of short that I'm uncomfortable taking at this level. Okay. And you, after presenting all of this, which I'm now going to delete, let me give you the case for the bears. Okay. So the case for the bears is actually really simple. We go back to the same stuff we've been discussing for weeks, which is
that line.
Let's just draw support and resistances, So very simple to see and go, and you can see these very clearly that we chopped around for a while, and this is again a perfect touch-ish. We went up, we rejected, we tested the support, we went up, and we're testing the resistance again, and we're rejecting, okay? What's more important from a bearish standpoint is that we are rejecting off this cluster of resistance that I mentioned, which is this death cross, the 200, the 50, and weekly resistance. And why I believe this time is different. This time is different for many reasons. Number one, this is the first time Bitcoin has been in a bear market in a non-QE, okay? But from a technical level, this is the first time we've ever been below the 200 weekly, which is God's support for Bitcoin, from day one. We've never lost it, And currently we're rejecting off it. So the technical trading term is a metric fuck ton short here. Okay? And comfortably so.
I fucking love it. Love it.
So now let's go to the other factors that I mentioned, which is to say that in the week we can see some accumulation. Okay, we can see whales have been selling the up move, but megas haven't. And I'm going, okay, cool, that looks good. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay, and again, I come back to this. What you could see when the price was flattered down around 16, the mega whales accumulated. Okay, and as soon as the price started rising, they got the fuck out. So this is interesting but unconvincing. And what's more unconvincing is the fact that we have bearish deviation, i.e. prices rising. So peak to peak prices rising. And peak to peak CVD of both classes is creating bearish div. The last time that we saw that, okay, was, excuse me while I wait for this. I know Fred has been making some. The last time we saw this type of bearish div, okay, was here, where you can see again price was rising, CVD was falling, and here, let me turn this off. Sorry, here where you can see price was rising, CVD was falling. We're printing exactly the same pattern, which is, again, I come back to it. I don't believe any move up without accumulation. And all that we have, we have some short-term accumulation, again, on the weekly, okay? Obviously, the mega whales the whales are selling out here, and the megas are still holding a bit. But zooming out, this is just a get the fuck out, okay? I think that's explainable by the order book. So if you look at this pump, what you will see, and let me go to, a daily view just to, it's a bit easier, What you will see is that we've had, this is the same player, this is the same Bitcoin, that has been, we call it liquidity herding, where you put liquidity on the book, okay? And that effectively herds the price up and it costs you nothing.
Right.
Okay, so this is the concept. By placing orders on the book, you can have an impact on price.
Right.
Okay,
Makes sense.
and I think that's very much what we're seeing here. What convinces me even more about that, because if they wanted this 1.1 Bitcoin filled, you know, if they were really trying to buy the asset, I mean, they could have bought it down here. Yeah, they didn't. In fact, you can even see here where the price is a little bit down, they actually dropped it. So there was one place where they got filled. So again, if you come down here and look at it, you can see price came down, they got filled, but immediately they offloaded, okay, and then added the liquidity back in below. Okay, so this is money playing trader games, not serious. So again, I'm happy to discount that as a bullish sign. It is, for me, what I would call a push to fill, i.e. you're using liquidity to move price up to fill your short positions, okay, which is a classic trader push to fill. So I am not bullish in those terms. I do think we could even sweep the highs here one more time. I don't know. I don't really care. If we take out, I got some new shorts here. If we take this out, I will be adding some more shorts. So I don't think that there's, you know, again, you can look at this in many different ways, but I don't think that there's really a genuine sustainable bull case here, simply because we do not have any accumulation, and no accumulation trader game. You know, we're into unbelievable, like the strongest technical resistance Bitcoin has. Now we have broken out of this bearish structure, which is very interesting. Yeah. So the fact that we've broken out here is very interesting. The reason I'm not immediately closing all my shorts from above and jamming the long button is simply that this reminds me in virtually every way of this head fake that we had at 69.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, when Bitcoin takes a level like this should just run. But this was just a game. This was just trap all the breakout traders. My current thesis on this is exactly the same, and that we will be sitting here in a few weeks and this will be well back in the structure and well back down in price. What proves me wrong? Take this. I think the probability of that, I'm not going to mince my words, is not
nil.
No, nothing is nil. But again, this is not financial advice at all. I mean, bullshit is not going to happen.
Well, it would take, to push through that, Shaun, it would take some serious new money coming in, right? I mean,
yeah,
and
that's the other thing. We have liquidity. The actions against Binance and the exchanges, whatever you think of them, okay, effectively have the effect of isolating crypto from new liquidity at scale.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
good point.
I would consider this to be a really strong exit pump. Yeah. This is people who want to get the fuck out of this. I think if you look at the timing, the BUSD thing, again, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. And also, if you know, and again, I don't trade macro, so I've no real interest in whether the Fed hike 25 or 50. But if you look at the DXY is running, the VIX looks like it's about to pop, and so on. So, you know, again, the bulls, you know, the bull tards out on Twitter will go, this is decoupling, and I'm going, yeah, it's about to decouple you from your money.
Yeah, no, those rate hikes are baked in now. I mean, everybody's saying 6%, so there's like at least 325s coming. So all those people talking about a pivot, you know, rate cuts at the end of this year or the second half of this year, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
No, I mean, the current talking head thing is that, you know, they're looking at a 50 next month, but I don't even think that's important because, again, the whole market's been looking at at how would we call it? They've been looking at rate hikes, and there's two things that are really important to a market. Okay, and far more important than the cost of money is the availability of money. Yeah, so if you consider that when we've had QE, money needs to find a home. Yeah. So the more money is out there, the more places it's got to go out and find a home. And when you have QT, it's deflating the balloon. Okay. So, while the interest rates reflect the cost of money. So if you're paying 5% money, 5% for your money, obviously you need to be making over 5%, from your investments. Otherwise, there's no point. But also the availability, just the amount of liquidity out there is shrinking. And therefore, that's an even more fundamental driver than just the cost of money, i.e. how much money is out there. So the less money is out there, the less, it is a liquidity drain on everything, which means, again, in general, that assets will go down because there just isn't money there to keep them up.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely takes away from that risk on money. And also what everybody focuses on interest rates, they're not really thinking about the balance sheet reduction stuff, which is pulling out $1 trillion out of essentially, the potential M2 supply every month. If you look at the bank multiplier. So it's crunching down that size of that pool of money. And it's like you said, if you can get 5% of the bank, people are like, hey, maybe it's time to get out of this and just go park it in the bank and get my 5 and not worry about it.
Yeah,
so, I think you're spot on.
The risk-free rate is what it is. I think it's it's 5.13 or something like that, and again, so from many levels, I cannot. And again, I don't mean this because everybody. I don't like being a bear. Yeah, I'm a fucking spot long Bitcoiner. Yeah, I honestly, again, just to be clear, I want to be saying, and there are some bullish cases to be made here that I went through, but this is the data supports this, as every bit of data that I have anyway supports this as simply a push to fill, an exit rally in the same way the run up to 69 was. And that's the only thing I can say about it. I mean, I think that, again, I'm going to repeat it. I think that anybody who thinks we're running to an all-time from high here is delusional. Genuinely believe that. And my favorite tweet of the day last night was from Crypto Ami, worth a follow, which kind of sums it up, which is, did you buy Bitcoin above the 200 week? And on.
Yeah. I saw you posted that.
Yeah, so just going to rest my case there, guys.
Well, that seems pretty powerful to me, and it certainly seems like there's not much of a case to be made otherwise. I just keep looking at the damn resistance line, and it just can't get over that. So
yeah, when you see this kind of distribution at resistance, you should be really careful. Yeah, I mean, there's every major top, and I do consider this a major top. As I said, I've been kind of waiting for this level, and it's run a bit higher than I thought. And again, I'm not going to, and Euphoric said it. Am I changing my tune? And to one extent, I am. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not changing my tune based on any emotions. As I keep saying, if I don't see accumulation with price going up, and if I see distribution with price going up, I just hit the red button.
Yeah. No, it makes total sense. Makes total sense. Niblets asked, where's the new liquidity? In the past, it came from easy money. If Bitcoin depends on easy fiat, that questions Bitcoin's core value prop.
That's a very fair point, and in fact, I think that you could rationally make the argument that the entire bull run, the last bull run, was just GBTC. Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the data, you're just going, look, this was just now. There are reasons why GPTC was a really easy vehicle for wealthy Americans to get in. Yeah.
Right.
We don't have that vehicle in existence now. I mean, GPTC is in trouble. The discount is increasing, which again is another bearish sign. But these things tend to resolve themselves. So I think that you will see maybe a spot ETF or something like that, some way that allows money back into it, kind of institutional grade money back into it. I was discussing with a couple of friends over the last few nights and going, look, if you look at what's happening in the US and will happen in Europe as well, like we're not doing the same thing, is that it's very clear that they're trying to put a stranglehold around the space. Okay, so the easy way to do that is you cut off the banking, okay, and then you attack the staples. Yeah, you now have completely put this whole space into an island, separate from fiat. I think their strategy is to do that and then build a bridge in. I.e., I don't think they're cutting it off, but I think that they're the SPFs thing, the Terra Luna, the 3AC, the stuff that CZ has been up to for years, is all just going to cause, the way I was trying to describe this to somebody is, if I was to make a plan, okay, to control crypto, I'd start by cutting off the air supply, which is fiat. Yeah.
Yep. I've been saying that for years.
And then I would rebuild it with a regulatory bridge that I control and monitor.
Makes sense.
So I don't see, all of this stuff that's happening. And again, I'll say it again, I'm no fan of CZ. That's not, I think he's way too much power in the space. And I'm 100% sure they will get him. Whether that's right or wrong doesn't matter. I'm 100% sure that Binance will be the final black swan. And I don't think the bottom's in until Binance is dealt with. And I think anybody who believes that CZ can, and again, I'm not on the rights and wrongs, and I need to be very clear. Yeah, my dislike for CZ is the fact that he controls 93% of the market. That's wrong. Yeah, he needs to. That's just not fucking on. Yeah, in this world. But so the rights and wrongs don't matter to me. The result is the result. They're after him. They will get him. He's done everything that every exchange has been cut, chopped. He has done plus more.
Well, particularly now with the latest Silvergate story on how they perjured themselves because they said he wasn't controlling it. He was controlling $400 million and moving it around from Binance US. So that's the one that's going to take him out.
I think it's more the $8 billion with Iran during sanctions, the money with Russia. Even like if you look at the exchanges that got cut to size, I mean, fundamentally what they got cut to size was allowing US citizens on. And their cutting to size was they got big fines. The promoters like Arthur Hayes and all of these, paid their 10 million and did their house arrest and so on. And yet none of that has happened to the biggest player in the space yet. Okay. And there's more to come. And if you look at the impact on the exchanges where that's happened, so I do honestly believe that we will see a Binance black swan, whether it's today, tomorrow, in a week. But and again, I'm not arguing that what the regulatory authorities are doing in the US is right. It doesn't matter if it's right. It only matters if it happens.
Yep.
Justin says Black Swan in the works with rumor of Binance delisting U.S. projects to settle with SEC, including stables. BUSD taken out already removes liquidity. Cartel being dismantled.
Yeah, I mean, there is some theories out there which may be supported by data that this whole pump is actually a BUSD washout, a way to unload BUSD, and there is some data. But again, it is what it is. It's all supported by the lines on the charts, whatever the reason is. So it's a way to swap out BUSD for USDT with this kind of a move. But again, I'm not really that kind of worried about that. Where do you take a short?
Chuck asks, pardon the new BTC, but for those of us trapped in the U.S. market, what ways are there to take a short position on BTC? Chuck, there are none under the regulated exchanges. You can do it synthetically in DeFi or utilizing WBTC or TBTC. So you can go to Gains, you can go to GMX, you can go to all of the synthetic platforms and do that. And then there are some other opportunities with the wrapped versions of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways that you can do it if you're looking. I mean, you can set up a company which is incredibly cheap in somewhere like Estonia, perfectly legal for a US citizen, and you can trade through that, and those kind of things. Yeah, but I mean,
does BitMEX allow those?
Yeah, if you're an Estonian registered entity, you're allowed to trade on them. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
awesome.
Awesome. And can an American citizen own again, I don't know the tax implications because I was talking with a friend of mine from Florida last night and he was explaining the tax on trading and I was going, why the fuck would you bother?
Yeah.
Capital gains. Yeah.
Like no fucking way that I could justify.
Well, it's not even cap gains. It's like ordinary income. Because it's short term.
Short term, yeah. If you're scalping,
short term capital gains.
It's ordinary, and I was going to say like basically
39%.
39% of every trade I have to document. That was gone. Wow, good luck with that. Yeah,
it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Niblets said, Niblets said, what percent of overall BTC activities due to trader games, and how does the ratio compare with A, shitcoins, and B, traditional securities?
Well, okay, so when I say trader games, because there's this really interesting thing that happens with traders that when they're right on a trade, it's organic, and when they're wrong, it's manipulation. Or there was some FUD that came out. So
yeah.
So what I would say that 99.999 reoccurring % of all price movement are what I call trader gains. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a reason down to the 1 second candles that a price is ticking up or down. Yeah, it is a high frequency strategy and so on. And the other thing to remember is that the game of trading is only about removing money from the other players. Yeah, the game of investing may be different, but when you're trading, you've got a bunch of people sitting around a poker table trying to take money off each other. Okay. And there are a set of rules to do that are more liberal in the crypto world. And so, with shitcoins, with Bitcoin, with anything that is tradable, 99.99% of the price movement is somebody simply moving price to remove money from others, because that's the game we're playing. And if you don't acknowledge that, you don't get it. Yeah. When you win,
right,
somebody lost. Yeah. When you lost, somebody won. But it's not a prayer meeting. We're in the business of removing money from other people. Yeah. Simple as.
Yep.
And in that, again, I come down to, when you look, there's really, one of the things, I always say is you need to look at the market in the people who will consistently lose are the uninformed. Yeah. And the people who will, that's not to say the uninformed don't make money. They do. But the market is a cruel mistress. The market tends to loan the money to the uninformed and then take it all back with interest. And the informed money is basically money moves from the uninformed to the informed. And that's why I'm such a hugely focus on anything, not just on lines on charts, but on trying to identify the informed money. What are they doing? That's why I'm 100%, again, personal opinion, 100% confident this is generating exit liquidity from the uninformed who are looking at charts like the one I posted going, bears in disbelief. And I'm going, Sure, whatever. Yeah, the uninformed bears are, and so on. And like some other interesting statistics, this whole move up from 15 to 25, okay, longs have lost more money than shorts in liquidations.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
No, I mean, but by the way, the entire bull run, okay, long liquidations were way higher than short liquidations. That happens all the time. The reason being that the narrative that is sold to retail is this long only, buy the fucking dip, bloody, 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 and so on. So again, I'm not trying to be dismal, bearish. I did, I can understand why people might believe this is bullish, but I think they're so fucking wrong here. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I just think they're going to lose their money big time.
Yeah.
Well, people just want to believe sometimes. They want to believe in that they're going to get it this time and they're right. So, which you're right. Yep. They're naked and they're not covering themselves. So,
yeah.
Justin says, agree with Joe. TradFi suckers rally done. Money managers move into T-bills for safe gains with customer money. Then JPM collar. Niblet says, maybe that's why so many traders seem to look at life beyond markets and finances as a zero-sum game.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you sit like, if you're trading is the most pointless activity you can do in life. Yeah. I mean, you're talking to somebody who spends 12 to 16 hours a day in front of a screen trying to steal money from other people, faceless people around the world. Okay. It produces nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
There isn't even a hole in the ground if I make $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of addictive and so on. But yeah, it's not in any way productive. You're not doing anything of value. So completely with Niblets on that, by the way, is that like, sure, it's fun, it's addictive, it can make you a lot of money, it can lose you a lot of money. But whatever outside of that, it is literally this game where you're adding no value to anything except hopefully your P&L.
Right.
You're not building anything. You're not producing anything of any value. Maybe you can use your money for good. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But probably not.
Yeah, but you seem to be doing some good things, Shaun. I mean, I see a lot of your philanthropic projects, and see you're doing something with it, which is impressive. But I agree. I mean, I haven't been trading a lot lately, but sitting there, the stomach churning and everything, and just waiting for stuff to happen, it basically was driving me crazy, just because it never ends. It's not like you're doing stocks in the olden days. It's like, 4:00, time to shut it down.
Yeah.
It's like it's just go.
The horrible thing about this market, 24/7, 365.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But again, I don't want. A lot of people ask me, should I start trading? And I go, no. And it's not even for that. It's simply because in crypto, 99% of traders lose their money.
Yeah.
That's it. I think in TradFi, it's 78, 80% or something like this. But in this game, 99% of people will lose their money. Now, if you're prepared to put in the time, the effort, and the hours, it can be incredibly lucrative, incredibly rewarding financially, and destroy your fucking life.
You can make a lot of money, but hate living.
Yeah. As Niblett said, you also have a very skewed view of the world. Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, love it, Shaun. That was fantastic, man. Anything going on with? Did you buy up any NFTs yet on the Bitcoin blockchain?
No, I was looking at that earlier. I think despite UDIs, let me bring this up. I think that despite UDIs, so the way I measure NFT activity is to look at the mempool, okay? And I think the boom is over, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's had its moment, and I was reading it. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love Udi. I mean, he's a complete gobshite. But actually, look, really, he's an engagement farmer. And, he comes out with, the maxis are, banning NFT. Nobody's done anything to ban it.
Yep.
It's just run its course, in my opinion. And no, I've no interest in Bitcoin NFTs. I have had my experiences with NFTs on other chains, and that was enough for me to go. Not for me.
Yep. Yeah. Shizzy says, yeah, I think that's why I'm so bullish. I'm not a trader, laughing out loud. Great show, guys.
I really feel terrible, because myself and Shizzy are always in, and almost to the point I want to be wrong for Shizzy.
Yeah, he's got a good heart. He's got a good heart, man. I agree with you.
Yeah,
I want to see him win.
I can I 100% dude. And so because a lot of these Telegram and Twitter just come into this kind of bull bear debate, and I'm kind of I'm bullish on Bitcoin in the long term, and I'm fucking bearish now, and that's it. And I hate to see people get trapped, and maybe it's me being trapped here. Yeah, maybe I'm the bear tard that's being trapped. But
I would say the track record and the data points otherwise.
Yeah. And that was my way. And again, apologies. I know I was meant to come on and we were meant to do some shitcoinery. But I have all my shitcoinery stuff air gapped on a laptop that I haven't connected up. So I'm just currently hoovering up. I'm a new Canto Maxi. I'm hoovering up the yields.
Nice.
And I'm sure if I logged in, I would have a bucket more Canto than I had. But I will be going off with my MetaMask wallet soon and trying to hunt for other things to do some shitcoinery about. That was it. I mean, the other thing I'd like, if you guys don't mind, since I'm as ever, there is an excellent mini documentary series out from Odell, which I did share.
Did you put in the Telegram group? I didn't see it.
No, I put it here. So he's doing this.
On Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 episodes, and it's again to get away from the trading. It is. I also got a retweet from him. Oh, I feel famous.
There you go.
It is about how Bitcoin has been used in parts of the world where, Iraq and so on, and how it is being used by people who, in Afghanistan, people who you could almost say it saved our lives. And again, because with all this, price up, price down, I want to print some sats, we tend to lose focus on what matters. Yeah. Right. And again, obviously my P&L matters to me, everybody's P&L matters to them, but this is the game we're in my opinion. This is the game of what decentralized finance is really in, which is to say, the reason we want permissionless, the reason we want trustless is because of what these people's real kind of experiences are and how this stuff really helps. And that's fucking amazing. Great. Yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic watch.
Excellent. I will put the links to all 3 episodes in the show notes. I've got that tweet laid up, Shaun. So thank you very much for sharing that. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, it is so true. I tend to look at it from, this perspective and, how are we going to make money off this? But you're so right. Like 80% of the market out there is not in this perspective, and 80% of the market is using it to, disintermediate people that are raking 30-40% off of their income every day through inefficient, monopolistic, government-controlled organizations. And, that is the true thing here. We get lost in it with all the DeFi stuff and everything else, but that's what it's really all about. And so, how do we ensure that keeps going on? I mean, it's similar with, the Telegram, things like that, it still has a little bit of a stigma sometimes with some people, say in the US, but then all the Iranian dissidents are using it, all the Hong Kong dissidents are using it, all the Russian dissidents are using it. I mean, it has such real world impacts in areas that people are really just screwed constantly, in major ways, like, dragged to a ditch and executed, basically, not, getting hassled over, trading crypto or something without a license. So, that's the real mission.
Yeah, so some of these episodes are a bit, because again, we can all get lost in the, Ethereum is better than Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff. And what I love about this stuff is that it pulls it back and goes like, what is the really important stuff here? Yeah, this is
that's great.
really important stuff here. And that even for people, designing protocols, they do need to design them more than just for Joey in Ohio to earn 7% yield.
Absolutely.
This is just brilliant stuff, like absolutely fantastic stuff. Not discouraging anybody from trying to make money from the space. We all need money, but as a pullback, this is really worth watching, in my opinion.
That's
and I know
awesome.
Odell can be maybe a slightly toxic maxi, but that doesn't get away from these interviews. I know a lot of people will look at Odell.
That's
and
great.
He's just a maxi. He's a really cool kid. Yeah, he's one.
That's
of the
awesome.
ones.
On another Bitcoin node, not as impactful, but still really fascinating. I just listened to the latest episode of Peter McCormick's What Bitcoin Did on, had some guys on that are real experts in energy infrastructure, solar, and the impact Bitcoin had when the grids were about to shut down in Texas. Really, really fascinating shit. So I encourage everybody to go take a listen to that, because I think there's a really powerful story in there about what Bitcoin actually can do for power. And so I encourage everybody.
There's an Irish company here which you guys should get on. I'd love to set it up, called Skilling Mining. And
cool.
We're doing some stuff with them here, and they do animal shit based farming, animal shit based mining, and they've got really cool stuff that we're trying to do some things with them, and as a demonstration of what is possible, and they'd love to talk to you guys. Really love to.
Yeah, connect me up, Shaun. I'd love to.
Yeah,
that'd be great. That sounds awesome. Love it. Love it.
They're great people.
Well, fantastic show as always.
Brad, what were you going to say? You had an epiphany moment there for a second.
No, that was it. I was good. I was just going to say, that's great. That's fantastic. Connect me up. Let's get him on the show. And that sounds great. And no, I was just going to say, this is a great show. Shaun, thanks as usual for providing so much.
Sorry for coming in with I wish I could talk a longer bullish case, but 40 minutes as much as I could.
I think your bullish case lasted about 1 minute and 30 seconds, but that's good.
I fucking tried.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shaun. Everybody, Niblets, Shizzy, Justin, Chuck, that's everybody for today. Thank you so much for participating, being a part of this, providing your thoughts. We appreciate that, and we're always glad to have you here. And look forward to having you all back on Monday. Justin says, awake show as always. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate and review us. Take 2 minutes to do that. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, click the little bell, and smash the thumbs up. We will see you guys on Monday. And don't forget to visit the Telegram, t.me/mission DeFi. I'd love for everybody to go in and take a look at a BNB project and give us a quick little summary in the BNB group. I'm already started to look at a few projects. I'm actually pretty blown away by what's going on over there. So thanks very much. Joe, thank you. Shaun, thank you. I hope everybody has a great day.
Yeah, and don't forget, Monday we have Matt coming in from Purple Squirrel Media. He's booked for Monday. So just going to talk about some Solana stuff, NFT projects that I'm sure everybody's excited to hear about, Shizzy. So that'll be a fun day too. So maybe we won't get through as much of the BNB plays, but that might be Tuesday.
All right. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.